Yo guys, sorry, you already know that today we're back playing some more Danganronpa 2. On the last time, we found the bombs, found out that they're not bombs, but it was a test to see who the traitor is, or at least who Nagito says the traitor is. Chiaki scanned her boarding pass, boarding pass, hello, handbook, and turned out that she was not the traitor, or so it seems, and then Nagito left us a video message that he's in the warehouse. Then there was some music and fire, and so then we had to worry about putting the fire out. But then the sprinkler system put the fire out, and now we can finally go in the warehouse to see if Nagito's even there. And I'm a little worried that he might be dead. But let's see. Maybe he's just not there at all, and they drag this out even more. I don't really know, but I'm hoping that we can start getting some answers. I think we either get answers about a traitor, or we might get a dead body, and then the class trial is going to be about getting answers. But I still feel like there's more endgame stuff than just that, so that might be too simple. So let's see. Let's see what is inside this warehouse. Oh, that music is still playing. A charred odor permeated throughout the warehouse, and the air was so heavy that it was hard to breathe. The moment I set foot inside the warehouse, a mixture of bewilderment, anxiety, and fear overtook me at once. Something smells.
Hey.
It's not me. I'm terribly sorry.
You serious?
Huh, Miss Sonia? Say it ain't so. No, not that. It's like a smell I've never smelled before.
Like...
Well, it makes sense there's strange smells, when a bunch of different things were burned.
Hey.
Hey, everyone, did you know about that curtain? You mean the curtain that was on fire, right? What do you mean, no?
See?
I didn't notice it until the curtain was burning, but there's a space on the outside of it, too. When I looked where Chiaki was pointing, there was still space beyond the burned, tattered curtain. I mean, I guess we just go to the back of the warehouse. I don't think we're going to learn anything by talking to any of these people right now. I walked toward the burned, tattered curtain with slow, methodical steps. I'd never experienced such an oppressive atmosphere before, and I couldn't help holding my breath. And then on the other side of the curtain, I saw the true source of the intense malice that I had been feeling. Is Nagito dead? Yep. Yeah. That's interesting. That's a lot of things to be stabbed with. So, I didn't get to look at it, but that thing that's stabbing him in the middle might have been one of those weapons that were hanging on the wall in the Nezumi castle. There's tied rope. There's the knife there. There's a lot of gashes on his legs. I had no idea what I was looking at. By the time I realized I was looking at the remains of Nagito Kamoeda, the ultimate lucky student. I guess not lucky enough. Time had already stopped. Wow. I'm very surprised that Nagito is not a survivor in this game. That blows my mind. That blows my mind completely. Eventually the shock finally registered with me. A numb feeling spread from the center of my brain almost instantly. Nagito is dead. Even when I saw this before me, I wasn't able to comprehend that reality yet. Huh? What's going on here?
Are you serious?
Is he really dead? He's not pretending to be dead, is he? I mean, it's Nagito, you know? That's right, it's Nagito. That'd be a pretty crazy pretend being dead thing here. He always messed with us. He always tried to confuse us. That's why. I can't believe it. Nagito ended up in such a cruel state. Yeah, this is not as simple as just being burned alive. Man, there's a lot to this. Nagito is dead. Deep down, I believe that when the killings finally ended, I'd never see this guy again. I never expected I'd be looking at Nagito's body like this. Nagito probably thought the same thing. I couldn't help seeing it in his dead, frightened face, but on this island, unbelievably abnormal occurrences happen all the time. Even Nagito couldn't escape that truth. But even something as small as that. A body's been discovered.
A body has been discovered! Now then, after a certain amount of time has passed, the class trial will begin!
Don't tell me.
The body discovery announcement. And then it's for real?
Hey,
The Nagito's really dead?
Damn it.
It's not just said he's dead. the body discovery announcement was made. Does that mean Nagito was killed? Killed?
That's right.
Plus, it's one of us. I mean, that's what it means, right? It does. One of us killed Nagito? One of us killed him so brutally? Then it's going to start again? Huh? The class trial is going to start soon, right? Then...
Of course.
Yep, we gotta do it. We gotta find out who Nagito's killer is.
Hey,
No matter who you guys sacrifice, you're determined to survive and leave this island, right? And the time for action is now. So allow me to give you the familiar Monochromophile. Hold it right there. What? Don't get in my way like that. I was about to whip out the Monochromophile in such a cool way.
You stupid brother.
Shut up, I can't stand this anymore.
Got it?
How much longer are you going to keep putting them through this? No more, I won't let you. I'll make sure I pulverize your evil intentions.
Hey, hey.
Say something.
What's this?
Oh, now I remember who you are. You're Monami.
Hey.
You just now noticed?
Lie.
Anyway, Monami, if you're going to talk about my intentions, why don't you talk about yours first? Huh? What are your intentions anyway? Why are you keeping everyone cooped up on this island? I'm sure everyone here wants to know too, you know. What? No fair, you're shutting up too.
Wait.
Enough already. We already have enough to deal with, concerning Nagito. Please do not say anything else that will confuse us.
Hey,
Anyway, let's begin. Huh? But,
this is just...
I mean, in the end, we still have to do it, right? As long as the killing happens, we can't do anything about it, right? We have no choice but to do it, right? Besides, it's our fault that we couldn't even prevent it. I know, that's the only way we can survive, right?
nice.
It looks like you kids are way more well-behaved than Monami.
Don't fuck with me.
We're tired of this too, you know. That's why I'll definitely make sure to finish this up for good this time.
This is kind of depressing.
Ah, does that mean you guys are getting bored of the school trip?
Actually,
Don't worry, the end is near. Huh, the end?
what's the matter?
Don't make a face like a pig that's about to become bacon. You already noticed it, right? Yeah. The meaning behind that Monokuma timer. I guess there's only 2 days left, huh? When that timer reaches 0, 2 days from now, that's Hajime talking, what will happen to us? The killing school trip will be over.
Hey, hey.
If this will finally be over,
You serious?
does that mean we can go home?
What are you gonna do?
Don't count your bears before they've hatched. There's still something you gotta do before that, right?
So...
Once again,
The Monochromophile!
you guys need to find out who Nagito's killer is and survive the class trial. If this ends here, there won't be an afterword at all.
Do your best. Wait!
Hold on!
I won't forgive
I
you.
won't let you escape this time. Wait right there. What do you guys think? If the school trip is nearly at an end, it's safe to think that we can go home, right?
But still...
Kazuichi, I understand how you feel, but we need to focus on Nagito's case first.
Damn it.
Even if we can go home, it'll be the end for us if we screw up here.
Alright!
Now let's hurry up and solve Nagito's case so we can all go back home.
However...
It is nice to think everyone can go home, but that is impossible, right? I mean, someone in this room killed Nagito. There's a killer among us. The weight of those words began to sink into me. That was true of the previous cases, but was it really true this time? No matter how much I tried, I couldn't believe it. Because the victim was Nagito? Because his death was so abnormally cruel. No, it wasn't just that. There was something more to it than that. And whatever it was stuck inside me. Ooh, okay. Music is pretty dope. First, we need to look at the Monochromophile. The victim is Nagito Komoeda. The body was discovered inside the warehouse near the Monokuma plushie factory. The estimated time of death is believed to be noon sharp. Okay. Not only is there a spear stabbed in his stomach, there are multiple stab wounds on each of his thighs. Furthermore, there's a laceration on his left arm and a knife impaled through his right hand. Okay. What a tragic situation. This reading this is making me depressed. Is there something wrong with this Monochromophile? Again, but what's wrong with it? Not only is there a spear stabbed in his stomach, there are multiple stab wounds on each of his thighs. Furthermore, there's a laceration on his left arm, and a knife impaled through his right hand. It's definitely weird. Well, I guess I'll find out if I look around. That's what the investigation is for. Don't worry to form conclusions on your own. That makes me more worried than I should be. We can discuss it later. Right now is our only chance to investigate. So we should investigate first. If we don't, there won't be anything for us to discuss. Well, I guess you're right. Then let's start with the area surrounding Nagito's body. I should start with the back of the warehouse. Since the curtain blocked most of the water, this area wasn't affected by the sprinklers that much. Thanks to that, I can probably investigate Nagito's body. I never thought I'd have to investigate Nagito's body. He probably didn't expect to end up like this either. Huh. I don't think he would be able to do this to himself. So that doesn't add up. I think there's a couple... I was starting to think there could be a possibility that the traitor did approach him, but then laid out some sort of scenario that if Nagito, you know, takes part of helping a killing happen, then true hope can prevail in the end, and maybe that could still persuade Nagito to go along with this. Also, initial impressions is I'm actually a little skeptical of Chiaki. I'm getting less skeptical the more that she's talking and taking lead over trying to figure out what happened. But I am a little skeptical that she was perfectly fine with scanning her handbook and the fact that it said that she's clear. That automatically makes me think that she could have done something sketchy, like trade handbooks with Nagito and then scan his instead and have it come up negative. So everyone's going to think that she's clear. And right now, she would have the only alibi in terms of traitor, but, like, I think that is actually a little fishy. And then she was the one that pointed out the curtain in the back that nobody else seemed to notice. So there are things that are making me a little apprehensive about Chiaki initially, but I'm going to try to not laser focus on any one person. But that is my initial guess. Obviously... Sonia didn't stay in one place and had a little bit of inkling that it wasn't a bomb. So Sonia could also be suspicious in some way, I guess. I'm not really sure if I see any of the other ones being the killer here. Because I think the killer and traitor are going to end up being one and the same. But we shall see. Because I think the traitor would kill Nagito to keep him quiet, would be my guess. Let's go ahead and just look at the body. Never expecting Nagito to die like this. Yeah, he was always spouting nonsense about hope and trying to confuse the hell out of us. But even so, dying like this is just too cruel. Also, he wasn't completely useless. There were times we were only able to reach the truth because of him. But everything good and bad about him is gone. We'll never be confused by him again. We'll never be saved by him again. No, now isn't the time to think about unnecessary things. I need to focus on the investigation right now. For now, I need to investigate everything about this body that catches my eye. This is a really crazy sight to behold. Let's go for the knife first. Work our way left to right. The knife is stabbed through Nagito's right hand. Did the killer do this? How could they do something so cruel? This knife, it must be from the military base. Military base? Ah, now that you mention it, you're right. It looks like a survival knife.
Well,
By the way, it seems the wounds on his legs and left arm were caused by the same knife. Which means after the killer was finished stabbing Nagito's legs and left arm, they stabbed the knife through his right hand?
it cannot be.
And then they finished him off with the spear.
How cruel.
Then does that mean the killer went through the trouble of using two weapons, a knife and a spear? They could have just killed him by stabbing him with a knife. Why do they need to use a spear at all?
You are right.
That is definitely strange. Was there a reason they had to use it? A reason they had to use the spear, huh? I don't know. I'm just going to collect all of the hints before I start formulating any theories. Because I feel like that's the best way to go about these investigations. Nagito's right wrist is tied with rope, but it looks like the tip of that rope burned off. Could this be a result of the fire? But that's weird. If the rope is burned off like this, why are Nagito's clothes completely unaffected by the fire when he was so close to the blaze? So I don't think the fire has anything to do with the burnt rope. It must be a different reason. Burned rope. We got... Oh, is his mouth duct taped or covered? He must have been in great pain. He clearly had this agonizing look on his face when he died. His mouth is covered with duct tape. Was this to keep Nagito from screaming for help? Jeez, what a horrible look in his face. The blood splattered all over. It doesn't help either. It's a good thing his mouth is covered with duct tape. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to look at him. Ah, got a minute? Sorry, excuse me. Chiaki moved past Kazuichi and squatted down next to Nagito's face. And in one swift movement, she ripped the duct tape off of his mouth. Hey, what are you doing?
It's gonna be fine.
Ah, it'll be fine. I'll put it back right away once I'm done investigating here. Putting the tape back isn't the issue, you ungrateful swine. You're gonna get cursed. Ah, the blood on Nagito's face. It looks like it mostly came from the slice on his left arm. If that's the case, it's no use. She's not listening.
Hey, hey.
Hey, about the blood splattered on his face. There's no blood under the duct tape. So the blood splatter happened after he had his mouth tape shut? What's wrong with that?
Well,
This duct tape has crinkles like it was sticking towards the inside of his mouth, right? Nagito was probably desperately moving his mouth under the duct tape. Seriously, what's wrong with that? She means Nagito's mouth was covered with duct tape before he got those wounds all over his body. So he tried to shout, which caused the duct tape to get sucked into his mouth a bit. But what's wrong with that? Is that something we really need to worry about? I don't really get it, but just put the duct tape back on his mouth already.
yep.
Yeah, you're right. Anyway, this might be some kind of clue too. I should remember it. Duct tape. Huh. I don't see how that's super relevant, but you never know. Left hand. There's a cut on his upper left arm. His legs and right hand have stab wounds, but this would look like a slice. That's probably the reason that the wound on his left arm doesn't look that deep compared to his other wounds. Well, regardless, it doesn't change the fact that it's a hideous wound, and there's blood everywhere.
Those were difficult.
There's something strange. Strange what?
See?
Look at the palm of his left hand. I think that blood is from when his left arm was sliced, but doesn't the blood splatter look strange? It cuts off right in the middle of his palm. Yeah, it definitely cuts off. Maybe that's as far as the blood could reach when it splattered? Well, that would explain the blood on his palm, but there's something else that's strange. When you flip it over and look at the back of his hand,
Well,
here, there's also blood, but only above the middle joint of each finger. You're right. Why is it only on this part? Did he, like, make a fist and get blood on his fist, essentially? See, it's just as I said, right? It's strange, right? I win. Yeah, sure, you win. But it's definitely strange. What did the killer do to make the blood splatter like this? It would seem that he, like, made a fist and only got blood on the outside of his hand and, like, where that would happen. But then only the fingers? Yeah, where did that blood come from? Not entirely sure. So that's face. Alright, so then I guess we'll look at the spear. A spear with a flashy ornament on it is impaled deeply into Nagito's stomach. There's no way around it. That looks like the fatal wound.
What's this?
Oh my, what's this? Such a strange looking spear, isn't it? A cord extends from the tip of the handle, and there's an iron weight attached to it. I see, I see. You use the cord as a whip to capture the enemy, and deliver the final blow with the spear. Is this your first time looking at this too? Of course not. This is the spear of Gungnir, right? You definitely just came up with that now. By the way, I wanted to ask you, where did that spear come from? I feel like I saw it at Nezumi Castle. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. What? Nezumi Castle? I was designed to be afraid of mice, so I can't go in there. Damn you, mice. Damn you all to hell. I see, even he doesn't know what's inside that castle. Well, more importantly, I need to focus on the investigation. The spear definitely catches my eye, but the weight on the end of the cord coming out of the handle... Well, that, it looks like that part has blood on it too. But for some reason, the section of the cord doesn't have blood on it. Oh, this is going to be so complicated. It's about the size of a human fist. Oh! Nagito was maybe holding that? If he was holding that in his hand, that would keep that from having blood. That would keep the inside of his left hand from having blood. I suppose. Also, Chiaki mentioned this earlier, but apparently that spear came from Nezumi Castle. It might be better if I confirm that later. Nagito did move the bombs from the castle to the factory. So he was definitely there multiple times. Spear of Gungnir. Nice, they gave it a name just so it could be the name of it in a truth bullet. So that doesn't have a special thing. That's just connected to the spear here. I guess, just feet. Just feet in general. Both of Nagito's legs are tied up. Each rope is tied to the pillars nearby. He wouldn't have been able to move at all. According to the Monochromophile, the wounds on his legs are all stab wounds. Does that mean the killer didn't just tie up Nagito? They also stabbed his legs? Why would the killer do something like that?
Damn it.
At any rate, it's pretty sadistic. The killer must have been holding a huge grunt towards him. Or they might have been torturing him. Torture? I mean, if they just wanted to kill him, they could have stabbed him once in the chest, right? Was Akane actually torturing him? Like he suggested? If you disregard the spear in the chest, the other wounds are inflicted for reasons other than killing. Which means the wounds all over Nagito's body were from the killer torturing him. If that's the case, what was the killer trying to make Nagito confess? Was this something that would have led to the traitor? Oh. Well, even if this was torture, there's no doubt that the killer must have held a deep grudge toward Nagito. Refusing to let him die easily, I can totally understand a dark impulse like that. But even if they held a grudge against him, would they really have gone this far? Torture wounds. I guess I'm done with the area surrounding Nagito's body. Jeez, I can't believe I actually investigated such a grisly-looking body. Even I'm surprised at myself. Does this mean I'm used to it? My classmate's dead body is right in front of me, and one of my peers is the killer responsible. And I have to investigate his death so I can find the killer. Am I used to something as abnormal as that? That would mean I'm becoming abnormal too. Alright, there was something that caught my eye, yeah. This caught my eye as I was zooming in to the body. This has a hole through it that looks like the spear would have went through it. Monokuma's dead, there's blood coming out of his stomach. Hey. No response, he's dead, Jim. Just kidding, I'm not dead. Is this one of the life-size plushies that were being produced at this factory? If you're mistaking a plushie for me, then there's something wrong with you. I mean, you're a stuffed animal, too. Don't put oversized garbage there, it's so misleading. What are you calling oversized garbage? Could this be one of Monokuma's tricks? Then why did he do it? Making a hole like he got stabbed and going to the trouble of dirtying the hole with blood. Did he try to imitate Nagito's body or something? I had nothing to do with that. Huh? He's probably lying. Seriously, you're always lying. You should just die like that plushie over there.
What's this?
You seem more pissed off than usual these days, Monomi, but you better watch what you say. If I feel like it, I can wipe you out easily, you know. I won't give in to your threats. I'll fight you until the very end. I will definitely take back the seat of world supremacy for Monokuma. Looks like those annoyances are gone. If it wasn't Monokuma's trick, then who did this? Could the killer have done this? If so, is this Nagito's blood? I have no idea how this connects to the incident. I mean, it looks like the spear would have gone through Monokuma. But then how would it... It couldn't have been like the killing blow where like the spear went through both the plushie and Nagito, because then the plushie would still be there. So maybe he had protection the first time and then threw this off to the side. I don't know. Wait. That is very bizarre. Fire grenade? There's probably nothing about this. Looks like a bunch of plastic bottles. Remnants of plastics are scattered all over the place. This is probably all that. Those fire grenades that were used to put out the fire. Well, they weren't actually that useful in the end. The fire was only extinguished thanks to the sprinklers. Well, nevertheless, the evidence really isn't all that strange. A lighter. It's an oil lighter. This is where the curtains would have been hanging. It also looks like the fire did extensive damage here. The oil lighter was placed here.
Just kidding.
An oil lighter. Someone probably wanted to keep warm.
Bring it on.
It's the most foolish thought. This is clearly the cause of the fire. Alright, thanks for phrasing it like that, Sonia.
Well,
Oil lighters can continue to burn even after someone lets go of them. Oh.
which means
So using that, the curtain was set on fire. Everybody is there. Obviously, except for Nagito. Did Nagito start the fire? That wouldn't really make much sense, though. Using the oil lighter, huh? Do you think the killer set up some sort of trick with it? Maybe.
right.
The killer probably planned to destroy evidence by setting this warehouse on fire. It caused a fire to destroy evidence? That's the only reason I can think of why a killer would set fire to their crime scene, but... Oil lighter has been added. Let's just talk to everybody. I'm not freaking out about it like Kazuichi, but I definitely can't stop thinking about it. When the Monokuma timer reaches 0 2 days from now, what's gonna happen? How? What's gonna happen? This front school trip's gonna end, right? We can finally go back home. Carefree till the end. Does that mean you don't think that'll happen? Monokuma might be planning to make us do something after the countdown ends. What do you mean, something? It's making us kill each other, you know? What could be worse than that? I don't know. This is Monokuma we're talking about, you know? There's no way this will end smoothly with a countdown. Anyway, like you said before, if we screw up here, it's the end for us. For now, let's focus on the investigation. We'll think about the countdown after we live through the class trial. Yeah, I know. And don't bring up strange stuff like that. Kana, you have anything to say? It mattered for Gundam's killing and for Mikan's, but it looks like it's different this time. It doesn't matter this time. What doesn't matter?
So,
The time. Looks like the time doesn't matter. It was clearly written, in the Monochromophile. The time of death was noon sharp. If it was at noon, what were we doing at that time? What were we doing? Well, right now, it's 12:30 p.m. So it also has a clock function. And that means Nagito died 30 minutes ago. Huh? It happened that recently? He's totally a fresh kill. Fresh seems like a bad way to describe it. If it happened 30 minutes ago, was it around the time we were struggling with the bombs? You're right, those fake bombs were originally supposed to explode at noon. Which means whoever doesn't have an alibi for that time is Nagito's killer. I think everyone was there, though. But this could be like when Nekomaru died. The killer could have also used some kind of automatic setup. Also, the crime looks very detailed, so they would have needed time to prepare. Then whoever doesn't have an alibi before we found the bombs is suspicious. Wait, none of us have an alibi for that time. That's when we all split up to search for the bombs. Yeah, that's the problem. Which one of us said that we were going to search this island? I think Fuyuhiko did. Interesting. Shaki, do you have any more words of insight? She looks like she's deep in thought while staring at the ceiling. What happened? Is there something strange about the ceiling?
yep.
Yeah, about that sprinkler. That's one of the sprinkler heads that activated to put out the fire.
Well,
You can see a girdle right next to it, right? There.
see?
Can you see that red streak? There's blood up there? Huh? You're right, I definitely see it. Looks like a small red line on the ceiling girder. Is that blood? Blood? The color definitely looks like blood, but there's no way blood could get up there, right? Plus, it's in a straight line. Wow, man, this is so confusing. That's why I've been staring at it. I think it's strange. It's definitely strange. I should remember this. Blood on the girder. What in the world? Now then, I guess that's enough investigating the area behind the curtain. The killer's goal wasn't just killing Nagito. There should have been another reason as well. If not, they wouldn't have gone to the trouble of tying him with rope and covering his mouth with duct tape. Not just that, there's no reason to inflict any wounds other than a fatal one. So, what was the reason? Looks like I better investigate other areas to figure that out. Alright, I should try investigating the other areas inside this warehouse first. Alright, well, I think we're going to leave the investigation for another time. I'm just doing a final sweep looking for a hidden Monokuma. I don't see one. But I guess we're gonna search around the rest of the warehouse, then probably the factory, and then we'll see where the investigation goes from there. I was getting kind of a bad feeling, but this is not really what I thought was going to happen. I cannot believe that Nagito did not make it to the end. I for sure thought that he was, like, probably the most likely. Honestly, after last chapter, I was thinking that Nagito had a better chance of staying alive than Hajime, which is crazy. There's no reason that, I should have thought that, but the game was definitely making me think that. But, yeah, Nagito's gone, and somebody killed him. And I guess the last class trial was probably going to be so long. This seems like a complicated crime as is. And then it's probably going to be tied into the traitor. And then it's going to be tied into the countdown ending. There's just still a lot of stuff to go through in this game. So, yeah, we're not going to worry about all that stuff too much. We're just going to worry about the investigation. And we will continue that on the next one. I imagine since it's the last chapter, it'll be a pretty long investigation. So who knows how long it'll take. But we're just going to keep doing it, gather all of the truth bullets and whatnot, and be ready to go. So that's it for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you on the next one. Peace out.